Hello, beautiful sunshines. Welcome to Now Thatz Love.
With your favorite mother-daughter duo, Ashlyn and
Janae where you get to know thyself, love thyself, and become the best version of self.
Because the greatest love story that you are ever going to tell is the one you create with yourself every day. Welcome to episode 33. Top 3 lessons I have learned in these 33 episodes. And it hit me this morning whenever I was about to film. Holy shit. Angel number 333. And I Googled it. So this is what I do with my angel numbers. If I see a number constantly, which I've been seeing 111 a lot and 333 a lot, I Google it. And the first thing that speaks to me, click on, and I'm like, okay, what are my angel numbers telling me? And I typed up angel number 333, and the first one that connected to me, which goes perfectly along with the podcast I'm about to give, talks about confidence, focus, and love, which is perfect for Now Thatz Love. Angel number 333 means that the ascending masters are by your side, supporting you to fulfill your higher purpose in life. Use this cosmic help and guidance to refine your inherent abilities to gain confidence, focus, and love in your life. This is the angel's call to motivate you to commit yourself to personal and spiritual development. So not only for me today, that's for you today, to dive into this podcast with me on the lessons that I've learned, so you don't have to do it. And go back on our previous podcast if you need a little bit more refreshing up. But here I am. So number 1, be around people who support your vision. The environment you are in can either destroy or fuel your growth. And I feel like this is why I've been kind of like a little bit of a hermit lately. I'm finally now coming out and just being like, I need friends. I love being around people. I love talking to other people and seeing their perspective on life. But I ducked down for a little bit because I had some people have some doubts. And me, are you sure that this is where you want to go? You have your master's degree. Why don't you just put your kids in daycare and pay off your student loans and do that? Follow the direct societal path. And it just didn't feel right for me. And so I knew my deep purpose. I knew what I was supposed to be here for. But I took so many people's other words to heart for so long. Or I had it as like, oh my gosh, they're not supporting me. Who else will support me in this world? And so I had to seclude myself a little bit and really focus on my intuition and know this is what I need to do. This is my purpose, my dharma. This is my mission in life, whatever you want to call it. This is what I'm here for. So if you have anybody fueling your doubt, maybe it's time to kind of step back a little bit and really focus on you and what you need to do in your life. Number 2, you don't need to be perfect or to be loved or cherished. I call myself a former perfectionist, also / codependent, but perfectionist. I, through life, have just always wanted everything to be perfect, to be laid out, to have a schedule. I get overwhelmed if I don't have things in a line. And by doing this podcast, by doing this Instagram, by creating a course, I had to not expect perfection and take each day by day, step by step. Don't expect perfection out of yourself. And I was doing a morning meditation this morning, yoga. I've been doing pregnancy yoga. I'm about to have Zane in less than a month now while filming this. By the time this airs, he'll probably be out of me. I'll be postpartum recovery and I'll be missing y'all. But I just wanted to have a girl chat with y'all, or, guy, if my guys are there, I'm here talking to y'all too. This is an important message for you guys. But I had this mantra that just spoke to me, and I feel like I've been spoke to so much recently, especially after doing our intuition video. We going along with this, but back on topic. The mantra was, and I want you guys to say this out loud to yourself in the mirror today, This is just the small step that I'm giving you guys today that I needed. Say, I am proud of you. And I am doing the best I can. And I put that over my heart because as I was doing, like, I was in my yoga meditation and I was just stretching, and it brought tears to my eyes. It's like, oh, I'm like, this is what I needed to hear. This is what I needed to hear before I'm about to do this podcast. And I know this is a message that someone needs right now. I'm so proud of myself. And I'm proud of you. Whoever you are out there, I'm proud of you. Knowing that everyone here is doing the best that they can. And I cried to Jerome probably about a couple weeks ago, and I'm just like, I'm so overwhelmed. And I think it's just the pregnancy emotions, but I'm doing the very best I can. And he's like, Ashlyn, that's all you can do. Being in the present moment, that's all you can do. You can only do the best you can. And going through this process of the 33 episodes, I can't expect perfection out of myself anymore. There's going to be podcasts where I mess up on or say something silly. There's going to be moments where I might mess up on a certain subject. And I'm like, oh, I should have said this. There's so many different things where we mess up. And not expecting perfection out of others around me has been such a fine, beautiful thing, because I've been stopping expecting perfection out of myself. And I was seeing how that was correlating together. So take a deep breath and remind yourself of that, even just looking in the mirror. It's very emotional and very touching to the heart. Number 3, you are going to go. I'm talking to my inner self as well. You are going to go through so many deaths. I have gone through so many internal deaths this past 33 episodes. It's been insane. Even after going through the death that I've previously had with my friend, that was a really stepping stone for me to understand my dharma, to have her light enter me and find my higher purpose. And I saw that there wasn't necessarily a destination that I needed to aim at. I thought there was. I thought I was going to reach this point and be like, this is it. I did it. I accomplished it. And I see that there's not that. There's step-by-steps of certain destinations of accomplishing, oh, wow, I don't notice this about this trigger anymore. I'm not codependent anymore with this relationship. There's going to be moments where, like I said, number 2, I'm not perfect, but I see the process and I see the dharma that I'm focusing on. And there's a positive emotion and a negative emotion that usually fuels your dharma. So your positive emotion, for me, the positive emotion that I had for myself while finding my higher purpose, and this may help you. I thought to myself, I do not want anyone to suffer the way I did. And just not even through 2021, but back then, but most recently 2021, of my friend passing away through suicide. And I don't want anyone to suffer or go through that long grieving process the way I did, where it's 3 years down the line and you're crying on episode 1 of your podcast about it and finally releasing everything that you've built up in those 3.5 years. I was able to make it through, and I wanted to share that. And I also had the positive emotion of sharing the love. Like I said, her light. I wanted to share the love that I found within myself during that time and progressing on forward within the past 3 years. That's why I created the course my mom and I are doing right now, of the steps of even intuition and finding your energies and chakras. And those were things that I found through the suffering of the pain. Whenever I was on every one of us have been on that moment where we're on our knees and we're like asking the higher power, God, like, why is this happening to me? This isn't supposed to be happening. This isn't the way it's supposed to go. And I'm here to tell you that there's a way to make it out. And through our podcast and through our Instagram and through even our Etsy shop and Amazon shop that we have, we created those anchors, and our course is going to guide you through if that is called upon your heart. And I was able to finally stop procrastinating when I saw my higher purpose. And I was seeing all these connections. Like I created these Amazon books literally like a year and a half ago, not knowing anywhere I was going to go. It just fell upon my heart. I was learning about chakras during that time, in auras, and I was starting to see auras and having my intuition come to me. My mom and I are like, how are we going to start this podcast? We don't even know where like our streaming is going to be. Where do we put this at? How do we start it? Which network do we go through? And it was just like this building bridge foundation. And you'll start seeing the connections as you go through, and seeing that you'll find that your purpose is within the mess that you were in. It becomes, like I said, your message before. And find what keeps you going. What keeps you up at night? What is something that you're like in bed and you're like, I am just dreaming about this and I know I'm going to get there. And envisioning it and seeing it and believing that you are the creator of this path that you're on. That was the third thing I really learned. It was just like this process of deaths and connection and finding who I truly am through this purpose, or this process of these 33 episodes. And I know that even episode 300, yes, you guys are stuck with me, 300 plus episodes. I just knew this is where I was supposed to be. We did our first episode and we're like, wow, like this feels so freeing. This feels so good. Episode 10, we're like, wow, like we see our progress. We see how far we're going. And now that we're on episode 33, it's like, oh, this feeling of just like, wow, like we've made it to this point. Things are growing, things are building. We found it. And I know that this for you will also help you find your purpose through the lessons. These are just 3 little things that I've learned within these 33 episodes. It was impactful in creating to where we are now and finding myself, truly. And I am ready to have this baby, y'all. I am so glad that you guys dived in with me on these 3 lessons. If any of you spoke to y'all, if you guys want any more in-depth conversations about these lessons that I've learned, feel free to DM us, comment below. I love hearing from y'all. It fuels me. It reminds me that the love is out there for everybody. And that's why we came up with Now Thatz Love. It's, you're creating the greatest love story with yourself. And I've created the greatest love story with myself by being here with y'all. Pregnancy emotions. No, I'm kidding. I'm so grateful for everything that has come to me to help y'all, to help my growth. And here we are blossoming together. It's great. And follow us on Instagram, follow us on YouTube, Spotify for these updates, and subscribe to have these updates come to y'all for further messages and the divine connection that we all share within each other. So thank you guys for joining this podcast. And like within the next 5 episodes, you'll probably see me with baby number 2 out of here. So I will catch you guys on the flip side. So bye bye.